Good evening. Billy Gaunt is a writer and on his way to his hometown for a signing. But like a certain businessman who couldn't go home again, even when it was walking distance, Mr. Gaunt is determined to change things for the better. Fortunately, he is within stumbling distance of the Twilight Zone. As said, Mr. Gaunt travels by plane to his hometown for a book signing. His work, as the rental car dealer points out, is pretty dark stuff, and it comes from a dark place. The dealer offers him a car out of the past, and one that delivers him right back into said past. He has been sent back in time, a very regular pastime as you have all witnessed during this last month. This will be our last time travel tale, and fortunately it is a good one. Mr. Gaunt soon sees his childhood self emerging from his old home. His girlfriend on the phone, his only link to his normal time, believes he's simply seeing things and is missing his own book signing. But of course, Gaunt realizes the truth about the matter. Unfortunately, this trip down memory lane is not a happy one. His mother is an alcoholic and severely abusive, mostly of the verbal and emotional kind. Remembering the trauma his younger self is going through, the elder Mr. Gaunt befriends the young one in the hopes of helping him through these troubled times. His mother believes him to simply be a pervert hanging around a young boy. But of course, Mr. Gaunt will not be deterred, especially when he remembers that this was the day he tried to take his own life. His girlfriend keeps trying to get him to move on. The past shapes who we are, after all, and if he really did travel through time, there'd be no way for him to actually succeed, or he wouldn't be there now. But despite that temptation to go back to her, Mr. Gaunt asks the rental car dealer to keep the car for an additional day. The dealer tries to warn him to make sure he doesn't miss his flight out, but sometimes one has to take action, even if they believe it to be futile. Speaking of futility, even Gaunt's girlfriend has had enough and breaks up with him over the phone. But by this point, whatever present he had has to be forgotten. He tries to convince his mother to be better, but it becomes clear she's not interested in taking up that task, leaving him with only one final recourse to save his past. He goes to the young boy and talks with him about his problems. All of the hardships he's going through, they hurt now, but they are temporary. The trick is to ride out the rough times, because sometimes you just have to ride the rapids to get to the other side. At first, Mr. Gaunt was going to just leave it at that, give the advice and then go home. But ultimately, he decides on a more unorthodox approach, happily going with the boy on a road trip, as a new father figure to himself. After all, he has the benefit of experience. Can he really influence him for the better? Well, ask Mr. Gaunt about it, and then see if he's still wearing a watch to cover his scars. Billy Gaunt, both junior and elder, have decided what road they shall travel down. For better or for worse, they're on that great stretch of highway known as the Twilight Zone.